Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. The pizza delivery is here. It is indeed Brackett's Pizza and you were all greatly appreciative of it. You throw the pizza at the gnome, but he deftly dodges it. Pizza, from your treehouse kitchen, one slice remains. You finish off the slice and throw the slice into the portal. The gnome is confused, but not disheartened and releases another portal. Your slice, from your treehouse kitchen, two slices remain. 1,975,249.88 appear from the portal. The gnome screams again and releases another portal. You quickly scramble. The gnome screams and begins to rapidly float upwards. "That's my money you're stealing, you little monster," you shout as you stand underneath him. You attempt to kick the gnome, but he just floats upwards out of your reach. You miss. Ah! The gnome suddenly screams and falls down, grabbing his face. You attempt to kick the gnome again, but he just floats upwards out of your reach. You miss. The gnome's face is sobbing with blood. Ah! You're unsure of how to react, but you don't really want to be on the receiving end of a potential childish tantrum. Ah! The gnome furiously kicks upwards, straight at your face. You quickly fall over violently, but the gnome is unable to grab your money and instead he grabs his own fragile body. He screams in both pain and anger. Ah! Buckets, get off me! The gnome screams. Suddenly, the gnome is taken away, as he continues screeching about his rights being violated.
Okay. Um.
Suddenly, the gnome stops screaming and his eyes roll into the back of his head. "Ah, he's dead," Jolt says.
Well, shit. Uh.
The sun is high in the sky, and you all decide. "That was a crazy day," Bucket repeats. "It has been decided that we will bring Buckets back to life on the condition he agrees to work for us," Jolt continues. "All right," you say. "Come on," Jolt says. You follow Jolt to Gnome Jail. You look around at who is in jail. You all dig through the mountain of coins, until you find a gnome. His body is cold. "Maybe he's in there," Jolt says.
Wait, is this you? Or-
Is he okay? You ask. He's dead, Jolt says. What do you mean? You ask. I mean, he's dead.
How dead?
0. When I found the little bastards, they were all dead, Jolt says.
I mean, I was there. And I mean, I was there when we killed him.
Dead, Jolt confirms.
Dead.
How? You ask. Curse, I dunno. I mean, we were fighting and then. Jolt says.
Grab shovel.
Definitely a curse, Jolt says. Scared to find out if he's really dead? Bruno asks. Fine, I'll do it, Jolt says.
Can we get rid of Bruno?
Bruno is completely helpless in the face of such numbers, and is quickly swarmed and decimated. Ah, shit. Gnomes begin firing arrows at you all.
Oh no. More gnomes.
You ignore the pain and hack your way through. Arrows and bullets don't seem to affect you all that much, even though you can hear others screaming all around you. Suddenly, the area becomes very dark. A black cloud has covered the sun, and the area is now in complete darkness. You are still under attack, but now you won't be able to see your enemy.
Wait, am I alive or not?
You hear a confused voice call out.
I
Am I dead or
don't
not?
know, I'm sorry.
Yes, you're alive.
This
Jolt
was very
confirms.
impromptu.
Oh, good. I was worried I wasn't dead enough.
Who is...
I am. The confused voice responds. Suddenly, a small figure appears. Its head is like a human, but the body is very short and squat.
Is that a gnome?
No, it's Jorbrin, one of the original JCR members. Oh, it's Jorbrin, you say. How do you know that name? Just a member. I knew him when he still went by Jorbrin the intern.
I think maybe we should turn down the randomness.
What's your name? You ask. My name is 109,775,240,997,588,829. You begin to feel dizzy. I think that may have been the curse. Jolt says. Oh, bah, it's a good name, you say. Well, I best get on with my curse casting, Jolt says. Jolt says. Oh, bah, it's a good name, you say. Well, I best get on with my curse casting, Jolt says.
Are you cursing today, Jolt?
We're cursing that little yellow guy
This
who
is
stole our
dragon.
money and killed Bruno.
Was he...
What are you doing? Jolt says. Bruno is dead, and now the entire gnome population has been cursed to live underground and as slaves in case they ever try to invade JCR again.
What's JC? This is like
JCR
a fucking
is
acid
the
trip.
Justice Crime League,
Oh,
Jolt
okay.
says. You're a member of this crime gang? No, but I work with a few guys that are. You don't really get
Higher
it,
text
but you
level.
decide to ignore it. The sun finally comes
45.
out, and you're able to continue on your journey.
What is our quest?
We're going to steal the booze from a traveling merchant. What's the merchant's name? Ben Franklin. Oh, I've heard of him. Is he a werewolf? We're going to kill Jolt, steal back the money and then get out of here. We're going to stop John the Hermit from releasing a plague that'll kill everyone, Jolt says. Oh, something to do with that guy, huh, you say. Yep. Jolt says. Should be an easy enough quest, then, you say. The further you get from JCR and the closer you get to the desert, the less people there are.
Check a map for clues. Mm, survey surroundings.
As you travel through the desert, it gets noticeably hotter and hotter. You see nobody else out here, it's just you and Jolt. Do you think it's going to be hot enough yet? You ask. PFFT. Hey, you want to play this? He asks. Sure, you say. Jolt happily clicks the mouse, and the game loads up.
Rain 2 on Game Boy Advance.
Huh, what's this? You ask. It's the best game ever. Do you know how to play this? You ask. Yes, Jolt says. All right, let's get started. Hey, you can't see. That hedgehog cat. The graphical style is still very similar to the first. The writing is pretty bad, but you and Jolt get straight into the game anyway. You know what our competition? Sheesh, someone actually made a game about us? Jolt says.
Um. Yes.
Ah, ha, got him. Jolt laughs. The two of you are about to move on when suddenly you hear a pterodactyl flying overhead.
Um.
Jolt shoots at the flying reptile, but misses. The pterodactyl swoops closer and closer, when suddenly it makes a sharp turn and dives towards Jolt.
Throw, throw, throw bucket helmet at pterodactyl.
The pterodactyl catches the helmet, and turns back towards Jolt. Jolt, you shout. Shoot it in the beak. Ha ha. Jolt laughs. That was awesome. You both move on. When you hear the
Ha.
whoop whoop of a lawman, you see one galloping towards you on horseback.
Do Jolt go to...
I hope he doesn't recognize me, you say. I can't remember his name. Plug in the capture card. You shout. What? Jolt asks.
Capture card. Capture card. For the Game Boy.
Capture card? Jolt asks. Yeah, it lets you save your game, you remember. The bullet slams into the lawman's chest, killing him instantly. I don't
Well,
recognize him, Jolt says.
I have to kill him. Well, you didn't have to kill him.
You pull out the capture card, and push Jolt to the back of your head.
Wait,
Come on,
what?
you say. Let's go. You sprint through the desert, with Jolt
That
falling
didn't make any
behind you.
sense.
Greater than Jolt fires his pistol. This plan, you realize, has several problems. This guy looks like a no-hoper, Jolt says, reloading his pistol.
Are you going to
You realize that Jolt has a real chance of winning this fight, if he can just calm himself down. Of course, you don't have any of that problem, so you might as well lend a hand.
headbutt Jolt?
Jolt collapses to the ground, dead. I won, you say. Thanks. Great job, partner, Bucket says, holding up his gun.
Wait,
This
what?
is my lucky gun. The two of you fight. You watch as Jolt's bullet slams into his skull, blowing his brains across the dirt. Goodbye, Buckethead, you say, as Jolt breathes heavily. Wow, he says. Ah, next stop, Sunshine, you say. Only one favor to be called in. Well, I guess I'm out of a job, Buckethead says. See ya, boss. Oh, you can still do some good in this world, like stopping carjackings, you say.
What?
In response, Jolt holds up his hand. No offense, boss, he says, but I think I've had quite enough of this life.
Are we still going to stop that plague man?
Yes. Let's get him, Jolt says. I'm in.
That was quick.
Soon, you're on your way to save Sunshine Hills. In response, the gnome feebly tries to defend himself.
Fuck you, gnome.
The gnome's soul is consumed by the transformation, and
Oh.
the lizard scurries off into the forest, back to his home. Unfortunately, the gnome touches the boundary line and is quickly sent into the opposing team's territory.
It's
Well,
playing
it
football.
was brutal. I got a plan, Jolt says.
What's the plan? What's the plan?
We use the truck's mounted gun to blow up the gnome patrol. Sweet, you say. So, when do we get to kick some gnome butt? Unfortunately, Jolt says, we need to get into the gnome mines to do that. How? You ask? The same way we got in here, the broken down chicken cart.
Mount the chicken cart. Fix the chicken cart.
After a few hours of fixing the cart, you're back in business. The working cart is ready to roll now though. So, where are we heading to? You ask? The gnome mines.
To kick gnome butt?
Hopefully, Jolt says. Well, I guess we'd better get going. That's never worked for us before, you point out. Yeah, but this is a special situation.
True.
Let's get going then, you say. Fair enough. Okay, we'll try it your way for now. Let's get going then. You begin rolling the cart towards the mine's entrance. Good thinking, you say. Soon, you're rolling towards the mine's entrance. However, once you're inside of it, several gnomes begin running towards your cart. Uh-oh. You duck down, and 109,775,240,997,588,829 unloads the cart of its gunpowder. The resulting explosion takes out most of the gnome patrol, regardless of where they're located.
Good job, number man.
Right, you reply. We better get out of here before any more gnomes come to investigate the noise. Good idea. Soon, you're back on the road.
What about the gnome mines?
We bombed the place. Because that worked out so well, Neuro is in ruins, and you're still without a Dakwala. Epilogue 2.0. You continue to pick up the pieces of your broken life, moving on from the genocide. We're orphans, you say. Orphan? What do you mean? Well, do you know how many bucketheads there are in the world? 109,775,240,997,588,829. You work jobs when you can, and just try to keep the wolf from the door. Jolt works in a nearby town, taking whatever jobs he can get.
I'm using
What?
the...
We should live near humanity so we can get the jobs they do. You ponder this for a second.
Wait. You 10...
Greater than... No. Try again.
Goblins.
Goblins. Goblins.
That is the risk of
Goblins.
brain code. Oh my
You're
god.
growling. Correct. What's wrong with rats? 109,235,240,997,588,829 asks. Rats are lovable, you reply. We don't like rats. You're a bad goblin. I'm a great goblin. You roar. You should be. Okay, fine. I'm a bad goblin. What does that even mean, though? That I'm a little scared of you. I'm on the hunt most of the time. I wouldn't really call that being on the hunt. Still, don't. 109,275,240,997,588,829 says. Unfortunately, Buckets, you push the button, and nothing happens.
Are we risking and raining yet? Or is that a meme?
I wouldn't say we're risking raining yet. It's more like No. 109,275,240,997,588,829 says. However, this is probably the best idea. 109 quadrillion. It's too late, Jolt. We're all dead men. Soon, a small explosion is heard, and Jolt falls to the ground with a bloody hole in his head.
Use necromancy to revive
I'm
Jolt.
alive. Yeah, and Buckethead is too. But we still need to go look for Sprague. Unfortunately for you, this works. But of course not. You are 109,775,240,997,588,829. They do. Apparently, it's not a very good game, as they have to spam the enter key to win. Soon, you manage to take down most of the goblins, but a few of them are surrounding you. Apparently, they saw the baby and now think you're more prey than Buckethead. PFFT, what are the chances? You say. You walk in, Buckethead in hand. The goblins stop attacking you for a second to look at this strange creature. He is saved by the bandit's safe house, but is dehydrated, starving and exhausted. The first thing he hears when he wakes up is a roaring, which scares him so much he ends up passing out again. Jolt wakes up and finds a bunch of goblins around him, cheering and clapping. Goblins. Jolt says. Are these your pet goblins? You ask. Yeah. Buckethead says. Dad? Yeah. The goblin says happily. What's going on here? We was gonna sacrifice you, but then we realized you weren't
I gotta
dead,
switch to
so...
Risk of Rain.